Thanks for joining us for another Tantrum House crowdfunding conniption. Today we're looking at the game Naughty or Nice from Bunnyhog Games, which is coming to Kickstarter soon.
And before we jump in, we want to make sure you're aware that our crowdfunded videos are sponsored in part by our own Kickstarter backers, as well as by the creators of this game. Thanks for joining us at Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows, and today we're looking at the game Naughty or Nice. It's a Christmas-themed family weight card game that's being brought to Kickstarter by Bunnyhog Games.
That's right. Their hope is that by the time that this game is produced, it'll be ready for Essenspiel as well as the holiday season. This game is a set collection card game for 2 to 5 players that takes about 30 to 45 minutes depending on your player count. We want to give you a peek of how it looks to play this game. This is a prototype version of the game, but let's jump in and we'll explain how the game is played.
To set up the game, you'll lay out the scoreboard and give each player their meeple and matching colored player card.
You'll then set up the 3 decks of cards for your player count. You'll slip the 2 midnight cards into the bottom of the present and creature deck, and they'll serve as the in-game triggers during the game.
Each player will select a gift giver with unique player ability, and then they'll draw 4 present cards and 1 creature card, and then you're ready to begin.
In the game, players will be acting as gift givers of yore, trying to satisfy the wants and wishes of the many kiddos of the world. So on their turn, they'll either draw 2 cards from the present card deck, or they can draw 2 cards and keep 1 from the creature card deck.
Or they can play their cards in order to give matching gifts to the children.
So if I played 2 red-colored presents and 2 blue-colored presents, I could take the Elizabeth card and I'd score 4 points for the presents. And if I happen to be Grandfather Frost, I'll also score 1 extra bonus point each time I play a red card with a hat on it during the game. So in this case, 1.
Now the creature cards can be drawn off the deck as we mentioned, but in addition to that, anytime you collect a kiddo that has a symbol that matches one of the ones you've already collected, you can summon a creature for free.
And when you manage to collect all 5 symbols, you can collect 2 creature cards. Those cards will give you different abilities and reactions, as well as potentially points for set collection at the end of the game.
Players will take turns collecting cards and fulfilling wishes until either of the midnight cards is revealed. Then everyone gets a final turn and it's time to tally points.
Players will score the points they've already tallied on the board, along with any bonus points for whomever has the most of each kiddo symbol, and then the player with the most points wins. Naughty or Nice features a number of different historic, traditional Christmas gift givers like St. Nicholas and Father Christmas, La Befana, and more. Each of these roles in the game are going to give you a unique ability that you can try to use as you try to fulfill the wants and wishes and needs of all the many happy children of the world.
The game does have a pretty easy rule set, so it makes it one that you can play with family and friends that may not be really deep into the board game hobby. But there's enough choices in the game that everyone at the table can be happy.
Right, there's a lot of strategy in the game as you try to decide between, am I going to use my 2 colored cards to be able to just get this easy present requirement and get the 2 points out of it? Am I going to save up more cards and try to get the right colors so that I can get the higher one? Or maybe I can get this in between one, but I'll also get a bonus point because of my player power. Also, we're using those creature cards in the deck. There's a bunch of different creatures as well. There's like Scrooge and the Cringe, just kind of like the Grinch, and a number of other ones. The creature deck gives you a lot of like the bad creatures give you take that abilities where you're going to like literally be stealing cards from each other or making other players skip their turn. The creature deck also features a bunch of helpful and delightful creatures like elves and the little frost fairy. And those cards are going to give you positive abilities in the game that you can use to help yourself and maybe in some cases even help other players be able to score things on their turn.
And then your unique character that you have, some of those give you a bonus depending on which type of those naughty or nice creatures that you play on your turn.
Absolutely. And then when you get to the end game scoring, basically what you're going to be doing is looking at where you're already at on the board, and then all of the kiddos that you've been able to satisfy over the course of the game. Whoever has the most of each unique icon, so if you've got the most pink circles, you're going to score 3 extra bonus points. If you have the most blue triangles or whatever, same thing. So you're going to compare all those cards and do your final scoring at the end of the game.
If you enjoy set collection card games that are easy for the whole family to enjoy together, or if you're trying to plan ahead for the holiday season and looking for stocking stuffers, you can check this out on Kickstarter. If anything in this video caught your attention, definitely give Naughty or Nice a look. And as always, we thank you so much for checking out our videos here and subscribing to Tantrum House.